Free beer and hot wings in the morning. Grand Rapids rocks all day. 97.9 GRD.
We have a friend in studio that we hadn't seen in person in a while. Steve Prince.
Thanks for having
With
me.
the U.S. Army for years, now retired, and now part of Warriors Set Free. We talked about a program that you're putting on coming up on the 28th. That is this Saturday. And then we thought it might be better to have you talk about this program.
Yeah, because we'll botch it somehow.
Yeah, that is true. If we give it more than 40 seconds, we're going to say it's stupid, and everybody's going to be like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
But if you build it up and then people show up and go, hey, this isn't what I expected, then I can blame you and not me.
Well, that's true.
You know,
You do have that.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
I connected with a vet because you guys were talking about the event. His brother called me, and we're going to sit down and try and help the guy because of you guys.
Wow.
Oh, that's
really?
awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is really, really
cool. The guy
cool.
looked me up, called me, and we got a dinner date set. We're going to just kind of talk through what he's struggling with and hopefully make his life better.
That's what you've dedicated yourself to after a long military career yourself, is helping people who have PTSD from the time they served, and not just people who served in the military, but also first responders who absolutely see all sorts of things that I don't know how you can compartmentalize as someone who can't do anything.
Yeah,
pass out from slivers and stuff.
Yeah, it's the sheepdog mentality. If you saw the American Sniper movie where Chris Kyle's sitting at the kitchen table, he's talking to his sons. There's sheep in the land. Most people think life is safe, happy, and everything's glorious. Well, there's wolves who will hurt the sheep. And then there's the sheepdogs who will step up, run towards the gunfire, towards the fire, towards the emergencies. And so Lieutenant Colonel Grossman coined that. They actually, I can't speak. I got a free beer as I'm going.
Yeah. You're in a judgment-free zone. Is a lie, because this is the most judgmental show in the world.
As long as you don't look at my Jeep and judge my Jeep.
That's a deal.
That would be over the line.
No way.
Yeah.
So Lieutenant Colonel Grossman coined that. He kind of developed that, so they asked his permission to put that in the movie. So the sheepdogs are your law enforcement, military, people who carry concealed, people who are ready to respond when someone tries to hurt the sheep. So he coined that, and that includes all those, even first responders, EMTs. You guys used to pick on ambulance drivers.
Well,
I don't think
out of ignorance, we referred to them as ambulance drivers without it being, and we didn't know it was an insult to everyone who's ever had that career.
Yeah,
and boy, did they get mad at us.
I just thought that the person behind the wheel was somebody with like an Uber driver. I don't know.
But
so
if you think of that community, the law enforcement community, what are the days that you've interacted with law enforcement? Those are the worst days of your life. Yeah. And those guys live that not only every day, but every hour of their job. So a lot of those, I say guys, men and women, see more stuff than even in my military career of 25 years. I only got shot at for about 10 minutes, which was enough.
Yeah,
but,
that would be enough.
Yeah, right?
I'm good.
That's at like 8 minutes more than me.
Yeah.
No, 10.
You're from mid-Michigan. You get shot at every once in a while.
Not where I grew up. It was hunters, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That counts.
Yeah.
Right.
But, so this community, they carry a lot of those experiences, whether they continue to think about it or they see those visions in their head. We have tools where we can help them. And Colonel Grossman is the #1 expert in the country, if not the world, when it comes to studying this field, what it takes to train someone to handle that and how to help them deal with it afterwards.
Because would it be fair to say, and maybe I don't want to make you uncomfortable by saying, will you agree with the statement, but our military, I would say, is really good at training soldiers and people to fight. Not so good at helping them afterwards.
Absolutely.
And I don't think it's because of rank and file and the people that lead it not caring. I think it's just
it's
not what the system was created for.
Correct. And in our somebody said at one point the military's job is to kill people and break their things. And so that's what we focus on. That's our job, is show up and win our military's or win our country's wars. So they don't talk about how do we help them deal with that when they get home. In the Vietnam generation, man, if you ever see anybody with any Vietnam veteran stuff on, boy, we as a country treated them terrible.
We were terrible to them,
I'm trying
not like we personally, but
our country,
was terrible,
failed them miserably. So I'm always welcoming those guys home, and those guys we owe a huge debt to. And when I was in Desert Shield, Desert Storm, they were part of the group that said, never again are we
Yeah.
going to treat our returning troops like this.
Yeah.
Even if you disagree with the war, you support
Yeah.
the troops.
Absolutely.
So-
And that was interesting. Like, the first Desert Storm, I was 14, 15, 16 years old. And I didn't necessarily, like at that age, I don't know that I fully understood. I was aware enough of history that I had paid attention, that I knew, born during Vietnam and then grew
Yeah.
up in the
Yep.
heart of it. And lots of we knew plenty of people who had served in Vietnam and even Korea. But then, you did see it change definitely
Absolutely.
then. And that was a lot of that generation.
Yep. So this event on Saturday, Colonel Grossman is one of my favorite speakers. I actually met him when I was a cadet. He was still in the military training us, and he's an expert on what it takes to train military law enforcement. He's trained FBI, CIA, top tier 1 spec ops on how to prepare for combat and what it takes to get ready for that. But he's also an expert on how to deal with it in the recovery and talk about it and who's safe to do that. One of the big things we kind of exploit as a ministry of Warriors Set Free is that veteran to veteran connection. I can walk up to a vet on the street, say, "Hey, what'd you do? Where were you? How you doing?" And
Right.
we already have a relationship.
Yes.
Right.
So
Because you can relate to it.
exactly. We've been similar places, similar times, different generations, even different branches. So that's what we do with
Yeah.
Warriors Set Free is we communicate with those guys, give them a safe place to kind of talk about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then we've got some tools to help them recover from that stuff that
Absolutely.
work really, really well.
So the event specifically, warriorsetfree.com, by the way. And Steve Prince with us here in the studio, been a longtime friend of the show, and trying to help out. Warrior Set Free presents the Sheepdog Spirit at Van Single Fine Arts Center at Byron Center, right?
It's Byron Center High School, and we're actually going to be in a different part of the school, but that's
Okay.
Yeah, that's good information.
And that is this Saturday, featuring Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman, author of On Killing and On Combat. And you can register and get details at warriorsetfree.com. And it's not just, like you said, it's not just for military, but anybody who battles PTSD will help people
Absolutely.
on Saturday.
And even people that have been through significant trauma that's not military and law enforcement related, these tools we're going to be talking about will help. I mean, we deal with a lot of people at Set Free who have been through the worst trauma in their lives. These tools will still help. It's just we're going to be talking specifically to military and law enforcement. And some of these guys, they don't want to go out and get help. So if you're a family member or a neighbor or a loved one of one of these people, come and listen, and then you'll have the tools to help them as well.
And we talked a little bit off the air. There's plenty of people that are dealing with these issues, and you may not even know it.
Exactly.
You work with them. They might be your friends. Maybe you play golf with them or softball or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And
Colonel Grossman talks about post-traumatic stress kind of like being overweight. Some people are 5-10 pounds overweight. They can function. It doesn't really bother their lives at all. Some guys are 150 pounds overweight. We had a radio interview with him, and he talked about helping Marcus Luttrell, the lone survivor, when he got back. I mean, he had 150 pounds worth of how much pain he was carrying.
Right.
I've got buddies who are highly, highly functioning vets, and that's the other thing I want to make clear. If you hire a vet, most vets are amazing people, highly functional.
They know how to work
to the bone,
Yes.
discipline beyond belief that a lot of civilians just can't comprehend. So if you're a person that's considering helping and hiring a veteran, 70 to 80% of them are doing great.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal people.
Yeah.
It's the small percentage, the 20% that are hurting pretty bad that we're trying to help.
absolutely. And the mental health for all of them coming back is a huge deal.
It's huge.
Huge, huge, huge. Well, man, thank you.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
You too.
Yeah, congratulations on the retirement.
Thanks.
It's
Yeah.
weird. That's the weird thing of a military career, well-deserved after all that time, but you retire as a very young man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're younger than Hot Wings, and he is not close to retirement.
Clearly, yeah. Oh, God, I got to do this forever.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, it was a long ride. Everybody says, "Hey, thanks for your service." I say, "Thanks for paying your taxes," because free ammunition is the best ammunition.
Yeah.
And everywhere we go, we get
Yeah, right.
fed and taken care of, and it's tax dollars at work. So
That's very
appreciate
good.
it.
Steve, good to see you.
You too.
Again, Warriors Set Free. The event is this Saturday. All the details, warriorsetfree.com.